welcome, welcome, welcome. So if this is your first time, who's this is their first time being Walshed? Your first time? Anyone like a newbie? Okay, there's going to be swearing, there's going to be inappropriate jokes. You're an adult, deal with it. Okay, if you're going to be offended, leave now. So what else? Steve is here looking after us. Hey Steve, looking incredibly smart for an Australian. Well done, good effort.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Did my best.
And of course, Erika. Erika craves validation. Who loves Erika? Give us a woo if you love Erika.
I'm working hard on it.
This is at the screen. Okay, she's assisting me today should you get bored of my voice. This is the first one, right? I guess some of you are here for the whole day. But why don't we settle in? So if you can, close your eyes, close your eyes. If you want to turn your screen on, I appreciate it. If you're cooking or gardening or child rearing, that's all fine. I don't mind if you're doing life stuff, okay? So a bit rude if you're emailing, but if you're kind of living your life, going about your business, that's fine. Let me take a few breaths together. So on 3, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Last one, breathing in together. And out. So next I invite you to look on the screen and go to gallery view and look at all the friendly, pretty cool people. If you don't want to be looked at, just turn your camera off. If you want to join in, turn your camera on. So everyone here from all these different countries, and you can add your country to your name like I have, has come to learn a bit about life purpose, to get a bit closer to life purpose, to maybe refine it again, to get a bit deeper into it perhaps. There's different parts of the journey. Let's imagine for a minute that each of these people is not a mistake. Let's just do a crazy imagining and imagining that each of these people isn't just a random bunch of cells, but each of these people has some contribution to give to all the other people and everyone else in the world. Imagine that. Sometimes it's easier to imagine for other people. Let's imagine that each of these people has, you could call it higher power, or you could call it being aligned with the Tao. You could call it just what they're really fucking good at. Each of these people has been getting really, really good at something their whole life, their talents, their practices. Every one of these people is an expert in something. They might not even know what it is yet. Can we imagine that each one of these other people in some way matters and their contribution is important? Can we imagine that? So I almost killed myself when I was 14. And then again, when I was 28, I came very close to it, very, very close. And now some people probably wish I had, but I think most people would say that actually the world is a richer, maybe even slightly better place for me not to have slashed that razor blade across my wrists. I think anyone agree with that? I don't need the validation, but I think most people would say that's probably a good decision. And I'm really glad. I'm really glad. And one of the main reasons I didn't is I found meaning in my life for something to do, something to contribute. That's a huge part of being a human being, is we want to contribute. And we want to contribute in a way that's aligned with us, that's special for us. So that's what purpose is. There's lots of definitions. You can get more official, but there's one. There's one. So I hope you're enjoying the purpose day so far. This session is 10 top tools. So it's sort of like my best quick wins. Of course, if you want to sort of go deeper into it, we have a course you can buy if you want to buy that. And that goes much deeper into these things and adds probably about another 50 tools. However, I thought I'd just start the day, because I'm doing sessions all day, with my sort of quickest, bestest, most effective wins. I've been coaching people on purpose for a few years. A lot of people don't know the Purpose Black Belt course actually was like 4 or 5 years ago we first did that, and we've just updated it. Particularly after the conference, I had to do a whole nother lot of filming and go, now I've learned some new stuff. So, so So that's what we're doing, top quick wins, because not everyone can afford the course or not everyone wants the course. So top quick wins, just given freely from me and Erika to you. Some of the tools are kind of, we're going to do today, like right now, and some of them we're going to do later today. Yeah, some of them I'm just going to sort of talk about, but they might not be what you expect by tools, actually, some of them. So we will get into all 10 of them today. And there'll probably be like 9 or 12 or something, because I can't count, let's face it. How are you doing? Give me a sign, give me a shape. How are you? I want to keep this interactive. I'm not like a dancing monkey here to entertain you. This is a sort of collaborative thing. Keep doing it, because I'm genuinely looking through the screen. Awesome, someone with pink hair, hello. And yeah, cool. Hey, Vicky, hey, Therese. So yeah. Wow, you're a good looking bunch. Oh my God. I might have to put Steve on so I don't get distracted. Blimey. So hello, welcome once again. What are we doing? Oh, where are you? Where are you? Who here? I'm going to give you a number scale. It's slightly arbitrary. Put 1 in the chat if you have no idea what your life purpose is. And I would say probably this session will be good for you. The other sessions probably not so much. And you probably don't want to buy the Purpose Black Belt product, because it's people number 1. What I normally say is go get drunk with interesting people. Okay, go have lots of boyfriends or girlfriends or dolphin lovers. Go travel the world. That's normally what I say. So who's in sort of session 1? Session 2 is a sort of number 2 level is like I have some idea, but I'm not really sure. Yeah, number 3 is I'm pretty sure, but I'm sort of getting in my own way. Like I know what I should be doing, but I'm not doing it. What the fuck is wrong with me? Like Erika, you deal with lots of women who have this issue, right? Say hello.
Yeah. So I work with women who are too nice. So women who prioritize other people, put other people's needs before their own, and also are stuck in kind of lack of self-confidence, not taking that step into really shining. So yeah, lots of women fall actually in a few of the different categories, but one is really, how to go for it, take up space, do the thing, take the risk, how do we move into that? Yeah.
So that's level 3. Level 1 is I have no idea what I'm doing. Level 2 is I kind of have some idea, but I need to clarify. Level 3 is I know what I should be doing, but I'm not doing it. Level 4 is I kind of lost it somewhere along the way, maybe because of practical situations like COVID, which we'll talk about later today. Maybe you just kind of got distracted, or something happened, you got ill, whatever. That's life, right? Life will take us off purpose. Why? Because other people have agendas for us. Those agendas may be, political, religious, consumer agendas. Might just be like the person we live with would kind of rather we were doing something else. Yeah. So unless we can constantly come back, level 4 is like I dip into level 4 all the time. Yeah. Level 5 is you're like maximum on purpose. It's like you wake up, you take your like metaphorical clitoris or penis and just slap life in the face with it, okay? And just to like a dragon, living your purpose every single fucking day. Who's on level 5? I'm on level 5 today, though I might be on level 4 again tomorrow. So there's a bit of a process. So I'm gonna look at all the numbers here. Yeah, it'll get ruder, by the way. If you're like, oh my God, what a metaphor, it's gonna get way worse. I'm not getting paid today. I'm fucking having fun if I'm not getting paid. This is a mandatory thing for me to have fun. It's part of my core values. Okay, so it's got some 1s, got some 2s. Okay, so kind of a mix. Steve, do you want to do a quick count of those at some point? It's a good sort of read on who's here. Oh my God, 670, not as many as John. And get on Facebook and share this now. This is on Facebook. Share it with all your friends. If I don't have as many people here as John, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. Okay, so let's get into the methods. Oh, they're on my phone, which is over there. Got a list. Does anyone have ADHD? I made a list to counteract my ADHD, and then I forgot my list. There we go. Awesome.
I do not have the list, so I'll just be keeping up.
I didn't give Erika that. I never give Erika the list. She said, "What should I do to be prepared?" I said, "Be ready." So, okay. Number 1, let's start with the body. Why is the body important to finding purpose? Why is an embodiment teacher teaching purpose? Anyone got any ideas? Why does the body matter? So purpose is about telling us when we're most alive. Okay, that is another definition of purpose, should you want one. People get bogged down in definitions. You fucking know what purpose is. Okay, so in terms of the body lets us know when we're most alive. Yeah, the body lets us know, like, oh shit, this lit me up. Now that could be just the moment of your day. So let's say you work in a supermarket and you hate your job, but like once a day, an old lady comes in and you like help her with her shopping. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you should go work with old people. Okay. Maybe once a day, like you crack a joke at the till and makes someone smile and that makes their day. Okay. Well, there's your moment, right? Then maybe you should be an entertainer. Okay. So like, what's the bit that brings you alive and you feel that in your body? There's actually 2 feelings to look out for. Okay, well, 3 really. I don't know whether these at all or not. One is excitement, energy. Like I haven't eaten for 4 days and I got up at 6 a.m. Okay, do I look tired to you? Do I look like, oh God, I've got to go to work and teach 695 people about life purpose? Oh my God. No. Okay, so it's what energizes you, what gets you up. And unless you're tuned into that, and that's a moment by moment thing, it's not just like once a year, I have to feel my body. You're gonna miss the body radar. Yeah. Like joy, what brings you joy and what gives you energy? It's 2 different things. There's a second piece to this, which is less obvious. It's the difference between a hot new Russian lover and the wife that you've been with for 20 years and love. Okay, so the wife you've been with for 20 years in love, I don't know about you, but I can sit with my wife on the bed and we'll just be sort of reading or on Facebook or just chilling. And I just feel like deeply at ease with her. Does anyone have a partner like that? If you do, you're as lucky as I am. Okay, that sort of deep purpose can feel like that. It's not always like, yeah, purpose. Okay, like some sort of, over caffeinated American. No, purpose can also feel like, just like, yeah, I'm like in my favorite underpants, like I'm kind of deeply at ease and at home. And again, that's a bodily feeling. So again, this is a radar, it's not a done deal. Where do you have that ease? The sort of second category, so we've got the positive, which is usually energy and excitement, joy, unreasonable joy. Like I get unreasonably happy geeking out about embodiment. Like people are like, okay, Mark, easy, calm down. Yeah. And then the sort of deep comfort. By the way, if I speak too quickly for you, then speed up your brain. No, you could say, please slow down, but do it before you hate me. Yeah. Second thing for the body is pain. So what brings you emotional pain? There's this nice saying, follow your bliss. There's a lot of truth in that. Joseph Campbell, actually, when I was like lost and alcoholic and suicidal, my friend sat me down in front of the hero's journey guy. What's his name? Follow your bliss. Joseph Campbell. Set me down in front of Joseph Campbell being interviewed by Bill Myers, and I watched it for like 12 hours, and that was one of my transformative moments. He said, follow your bliss, but also follow your heartbreak. Okay? I think I first heard that from Steve Pavlina. Like, let's say you're walking past a homeless person on the street, right? And you look them in the eye and you give them some change or you say hello. Most people won't feel great in that situation, right? If your empathy is turned on. Most people will be like, wow, it really sucks, this homeless people. Do you think it's fucking ridiculous there's homeless people in 2021? I think it's fucking ridiculous, right? And it sucks. But it doesn't break my heart, right? Other people, they walk by that homeless person, they smile, they give their change, they say hello, whatever, but it absolutely tears them up. Yeah, it's just like, for me, it's annoying, there's homeless people. It's sad, but it's not like intolerable. I don't wake up thinking about it, you know? Like other things, and it's not to judge, right? Because you can't say, hey, one thing's more important than another. You don't get to pick your purpose in one way. In another way you do, I'll come to that. But in another way, you don't get to pick it. So you shouldn't judge what breaks someone's heart or not, as long as it's basic empathy there, right? Like, I'll give you an example. I used to go to yoga classes, and it used to make me so angry how bad they were. It took everything I had not to stand up and punch the teacher in the face. Like, it took, like, in the middle of a yoga class, and she's like, love and light and joy. And I just wanted to get up and fucking kill her because it was so bad. Like, now I'm pretty passionate about standards and embodiment, and probably a bit of a psychopath. But the key thing there is that for everyone gets annoyed by silly hippie yoga teachers who kind of speak shit and say that twists detoxify your liver. Like, they don't, by the way. But like, everyone gets annoyed by that who's a reasonable, sensible person. But I got furious, right? And eventually I created a whole thing called Embodied Yoga Principles, which was me saying, hey, this is non-pointless yoga. Yeah, I've calmed down a bit since then about modern postural yoga, but I was in a vinyasa class just 2 nights ago, accidentally. I tend to do hatha, and I accidentally went to a vinyasa class. And it was I was just like, why am I doing so many push-ups? This isn't spiritual. What's wrong with you? Anyway, so that's part of my heartbreak, of my pain. You know, like what makes you really angry, what makes you really sad. So finding purpose isn't just about tuning into what makes you happy and brings you joy, la, 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 la. In a way, finding purpose is about being courageous enough to go to your darkest place. You like that? I like that. But I'm a fucking nutter. Yeah. It's sort of 2 types of courage. It's the courage to go there and the courage to go there. Erika, you sort of specialize on the second bit, right? But I know you do a bit of both. They're both?
I would say I do both. And I think, so one thing I would add to all of this is, like, particularly for the women that I work with who are very out to orientating towards other already, a big piece is to come back to the body and separate from other people's influence and feel what brings, you know, that's a big piece actually, is to like return to your own center, to what you really love. Because the world is so large for us and we're so pulled in different directions and ideas and, you know, what other people want from us, that actually a big piece is to separate from that and come here first, you know, to feel, what do I love? What do I, you know, not what should I do or what would be useful? What do I love? What do I want? What brings me joy? And it can feel quite selfish at times, you know, for the,
to you, yeah. So
yeah, to women that I work with, yeah.
And notice some of you guys, I can see Radim and Ray looks like guys, right? You might be thinking, well, why doesn't she work with men? Does she hate men? Is she some kind of, what's the word, androgynous? Is that word? I don't know. So what? You know, no, she doesn't hate men. It's just not her calling.
Yeah.
Right? She really likes men. I know that for a fact. Okay, well, not like that way as a fact, because she was my student, so we never did that. But I've heard it from good sources that she loves men in all the ways. But it's not her calling to work with men. Yeah, is that fair to say, Erika? I don't know.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I really love men, and I don't go for men bashing either in the work that I do. There's just something deeply resonant through my career. It was when I was working with women that I found myself most lit up, where I found myself most engaged and I saw the most change, and it was just deeply satisfying. I would work with a man if a man came to me, you know, but for what I'm putting out in the world, I love working with women. Yeah.
Cool. Somebody said they like Erika's input. That's why we have her here, because, you know, like all whiskey with no fruit juice. Maybe your whiskey, I'm fruit juice, I don't know, but so we want to have a bit of a mixer, isn't it? It's a bit of a mixer. Okay, so the body, our favorite tool for finding into purpose, tuning into it. I could say you could count that as 2 tools if you want to say like joy and pain, or 3 if you want to say joy, relaxation, and pain. And as Erika said, that can be a real journey to come back to what you actually like. Yeah. So if you're struggling with that, like really, really struggling with that, you could start light. Like just when you go to a restaurant, remember restaurants? When you go to a restaurant, you can just say, hey, what do I want here? Do I really want to eat that? Or is that just habit? Mm-hmm. Or when you're picking your movie, like, hey, actually, what do I really want to watch tonight? Do I want to watch a comedy or a romance? Okay, cool. So other tools. Death is a major tool. We're going to be doing a whole death meditation later on. Why death? Why death? Because the impermanence of life wakes you up to doing something with it. Mm-hmm. All right, this is why Buddhists have death meditations. I won't go into it now, but just a quick little death meditation. Okay, everyone take a breath. Hold your breath. This is your last breath, and there's a whole bunch of stuff you haven't done. What do you wish you'd done? Because this is the last breath you get to take ever. Keep holding the breath, because the sense of panic that comes in is quite helpful. Obviously, if you have a panic disorder or something, you might want to moderate this technique. So keep holding your breath till you're sort of like, fuck. Usually for most people, it happens after about 30 seconds to a minute. Yeah, if that really was your last breath. And then as you breathe in again, because sooner or later you have to breathe in again, right? So you don't die. Please don't die today. Oh, what are you glad you have that breath to do? It's a gift, huh? It's not a given. Like your heart that's beating right now, yeah? That could just stop. And there's literally nothing you could do about it. So this is grace, right? Put your hand on your heart so you can feel it. So every one of those heartbeats is one less than you get. So every one of those heartbeats is like tick, 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 ticking down. And it could literally stop at any minute. My dad, walking down the street, 74 years old, had a heart attack, bam, dead before he hit the floor. Actually, not a bad way to die. Love you, Dad, if you're around somewhere. Okay. But it's, he didn't expect it. He was just going out to buy a pint of milk, right? And luckily for him, he, lived to the end of his life, done a lot of the things he wanted to do. For him, 74 was not a bad innings. It's a cricket analogy, should you be from abroad. Yeah. Okay, how you guys doing? Just want to check you're okay after that. Hug people, my closest ones. Yes. Travel. Okay, great. So there's things we can do with that are just kind of sweet to us. Purpose should have a sense of service in. So a lot of people are like, this is my passion. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about your passion. Like, the world gives not one crap about what you enjoy. Like, you enjoy chocolate and blowjobs. Well done. So does everyone. It's like, whatever. So someone's there like, no, I don't actually. I hate chocolate. But it's like, where's the service? So one of the main tools we have is just coaching questions. We're going to do a whole session. I spent years collecting the best coaching questions in the world. We're going to do a session on that later. Like, way more in depth in the course, of course. We always, this is a light overview. The course, if you really want to take it seriously, goes much more into it. Coaching questions, and you can combine this with the body. Let's just try this now. Maybe you'll get a quick win. Close your eyes, if you're willing. Feel your body. And just ask yourself in your first language, what's my purpose? See if anything floats to the surface, a word, an image, vague feeling. And ask it a few times. Like with some of my students, I'd get into this for an hour, just continuously asking themselves, what's my purpose? So ask a few times in your first language. Really can be as simple as asking, but we have to listen to the response. What's my purpose? Yeah. Okay. How you doing? Let's have a little check-in. Give me a wave. Give me a sign. Or just sit there like a dog that's been showing the card trick. I'm used to passively consuming, and I'm really trying to find my purpose. Well, bad luck. You're never going to find it that way. You need a yin and a yang for purpose. The yin is like deep listening. Jamie will talk about this probably tomorrow, Jamie Caddo. Like deep listening to what am I really here to do? Yeah. And the yang is like fucking just go for it. Like hunt your purpose. Like hunt it. Like a wolf hunting a rabbit. Like hunt it down. You need both of those to find purpose. So those of you who are sitting there like, well, can you tell me my purpose? No, I fucking can't. Do some work. Yeah? Okay, tough luck for Uncle Mark.
And on that, Mark, the poll results are back if you click on polling, or I can read them out to you.
So sexy. We've got a poll. Thanks, Steve. So a lot of people are in that blocked space. Okay, so a few people I have no idea what to do. People number 2 and number 3, you'll love the yellow belt and the orange belt from the Purpose Black Belt course. Okay, so the yellow belt is like, how do I find purpose? Loads of great techniques like we're doing today, but way more and way deeper. And the orange belt is all about the getting unstuck, getting out of your own way, dealing with, say I loudly if you have one of these things. Who's a perfectionist? That's a barrier to purpose. Who cares what other people think? Okay, that's a real barrier to purpose. So let's play with that. Here's my tool number 1. I want everyone to make their ugliest face. Turn your camera on for this. Make like stupidest, like imagine we took a picture of you, we put this in a town square on a big billboard in your hometown. Like, what's the picture you'd least like? Keep doing it, keep doing it. Keep doing it. Yeah, do you care what people think of you? Yeah. Because if you even give a little bit of a shit, that's going to get in the way of your life purpose. It's an interesting one because you have to be like really in service. Like I like my customers. I like the people who buy our stuff. I spent all week just going, this is great. I love my job. Cool people. I like these people. But simultaneously to serving them, like I'm trying to serve you guys today, right? More than just self-entertain. I also have to completely not give a shit what you think. This is a real paradox. It's a real tricky line to walk. And most of you will be on the giving too many shits line. Is anyone, I occasionally go to the not giving enough shits line. Is anyone on that side with me occasionally? Like, fuck it. Yeah, most of you on the giving too many shits line. Yeah. I'm going to do a fairly extreme experiment. So let's do this again. Look on the screen again. Now imagine everyone here thought you were a massive racist. Yeah. Everyone on the screen thought you were a massive racist. They just thought you were like awful Ku Klux Klan, terrible racist. Not like, little bit racist like we all are, but like a massive racist. Just thought you were fat. I get that quite regularly on my YouTube comments. It says, you're too fat to teach embodiment. Okay, and could you just look at them and say, well, thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Thank you very much. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. I'm not a massive racist, despite what some people have said about me on the internet. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely day. Have a lovely day. You're welcome to your opinion. Have a good one. Can you do that? You're going to find it very difficult to tune into life purpose unless you can get to that level of non-attachment. Yeah, complete commitment, complete non-attachment. That's called enlightenment, however, so we're human if you're not got it perfect just yet. Anything you want to say on that, Erika?
Yeah, something I was thinking about around this was like, we have this double bind, I think. We take ourselves far too seriously in that we think, oh, I'm so important. If I fail, it will be a disaster. Everyone will hate me. Most of the time, most people don't care. And at the same time, we don't take ourselves seriously enough, which is what you've been talking about, which is like, you've got something to offer. You've got something unique that could benefit the world. Take it seriously, like take that seriously. So I think there's an interesting like thing around for me, this framed in seriousness, we've got to take ourselves seriously at the same time as not taking ourselves seriously.
Yeah. And it's like, there's almost like two messages, and I give different messages to different students. So make sure you listen to the right one, because two of them are coming up, okay? One message is something like, who the fuck do you think you are to get in the way of your mission, to get in the way of your person? Oh, I'm scared of people. Shut up, get on with it, okay? Like, that's one message. It's like, no, what you can contribute matters too much. Have you watched the news? It's late in the day, okay? So get the fuck over yourself, yeah? Get on with it. It matters more than you could know. Like, I've literally saved people's life. So had I killed myself, and now I know for a fact at least 10 people would have also killed themselves afterwards. Yeah. So that would have been the knock on had I decided to kill myself at age 14. At least that's 10 who have told me, like, definitely this work has changed my life this much. Yeah. Now, how many hundreds, thousands out there who I never know about, right? I'll give you an example. I was teaching embodied yoga principles once, right? And we taught no pose. And the woman I taught no pose to sent me an email 3 days later saying, I just left my abusive husband. I took my kids, I've gone to my mother's. My husband has been physically and emotionally abusive for many years. And until I did that pose, I didn't have the embodiment to actually leave, to say enough's enough. Right, now that's just one example, okay? And that's one person who came to a workshop and her children are now not being beaten, potentially raped, through their fucking childhood, right? As a result of that. So had I been so fucking selfish as to kill myself, and I forgive people who kill themselves, I get it. My cousin killed himself, I get it. I get what it's like to feel like life's not worth living. I don't judge you, but had I done that, those kids would have been having the shit beaten out of them right now. right? And a lot of the time you just don't know. You just don't know. Like there's 755 people. Come on, share your friends. If we don't get 1,000, it's going to be a disaster. So we just don't know. The other message, it's a completely opposite message. Give yourself a shake, give yourself a wriggle. Because some of you didn't need to hear that. You're like, I know that. I know it's really important. I'm taking it really seriously. I need to find my purpose. What if I don't find my purpose? I'm so important. It matters so much. No, it doesn't. Okay? It really doesn't matter if the world doesn't get another life coach or yoga teacher. Okay, guys? You're not that big a deal. You're not that special. Okay, I'm not that special, and I'm pretty fucking special, and I'm not that special. Okay? You don't matter that much. It's not really a big deal. Just take the pressure off yourself. It's like, have you ever like really tried hard to have an orgasm? Like, I'm gonna make her come. She's gonna have the big day. Have you had an orgasm yet? It's like, yeah, that doesn't work, does it? Or like, have you ever tried that, Erika? It's a female opinion. Come on, it's the same. It works for women. That doesn't work if you push too hard. Yeah. It's like
other things you might need to know.
What's that? Sorry.
Nothing. Carry on.
It's PG. Yeah, I'm guessing it applies even more to women, but it definitely applies to men. And going to sleep would be another example. Yeah. Right? You're like, I've got to get to sleep. I've got to teach tomorrow, life purpose workshop. Can't get to sleep, can you? Okay, so a lot of purpose is about letting go and letting come. Heard the theory you stuff? Yeah. So a lot of life purpose is really about going, you know what? It doesn't really fucking matter. It's all a game. You know, I did some DMT the other day. I'm pretty sure that we're in an alien computer simulation and not actually in reality. Now, I think it's pretty sure there's like alien lizard people running it. And like I saw through the Matrix source code. And afterwards, I'm just like, you know what? I'll play the game because I'm in the computer simulation. So I might as well play the game. And that game is called love as many people as possible, help as many people as possible, have as much fun as possible, learn as much as possible. That's the name of my game. Your game might be slightly different, okay? I might as well play the game, but it's just a computer game. No point worrying about it. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Okay, so which did you need to hear? Because you probably heard the wrong one because you're a fucking idiot, right? So just remind yourself, like, which did you need to hear? Is it like, it's really important? Or it doesn't really matter. We need both. There's a lot of paradoxes in purpose. That's why it's interesting as a topic. I've been studying it for years now. It's interesting. Okay, other tools, we better get through some tools. I don't like calling nature a tool, but let's, nature. Simple one. If you don't know your life purpose, go for a walk in the woods and ask yourself, what's my life purpose? Yeah, swim in the sea and clear your head. Don't die. Okay, so go for a retreat in the woods for 5 days. Who's been worrying about what their life purpose is for like more than a year? It's like stressing about it. Like, oh, what do I do? Yeah. Okay, so invest 5 days. Okay, go camp in the woods. Some of you are like, I'm in Canada. It's February. No, fuck off. Okay, so go camp in the woods in Mallorca or wherever. So yeah, if you can, I'll go for a hut in the woods, a log cabin. I imagine Canadians in log cabins, happily being liberal together with their free healthcare. Yeah, yes. So nature really helps. I don't know what else to say about nature. You like nature, Erika? It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I love. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I would really recommend what you're suggesting. Take some time, go be by yourself, let something unfold. Yeah, reduce input. We're so input heavy. And I just think reducing input and coming back to yourself. You know, yeah.
You're all info fat.
Yeah.
Yes. So turn your phone off for a week. Yeah, actually, if you wouldn't, another thing I recommend in the course, there's a whole video on this, is giving up distraction for a week. Give up all entertainment for a week. So if you can't go to the woods, right, you still have to work or look after your kids, right? So there's the essentials. You just have to feed yourself, wash, feed your kids, they don't die, stuff like that, right? Okay, but give up all Netflix, all music, all novels, all entertainment completely for a week. Yeah, like, the problem is really that you're not willing to suffer enough for many people, not all people, but there's a way in which people stay at like a low level of suffering and they never get to that point where it's just killing them that they don't have life purpose. In a way I was lucky. I'm kind of an extremist that I got to that sort of razor blade point, right? Because I could have just lived my life in sort of quiet desperation and moderate misery for my whole life. And then I would have woken up at 50 in a job I hate, probably obese, because I've kind of been comfort eating, which is one of the things I do when I'm not on purpose. By the way, that's another little thing. Notice your addictive habits when you're not on purpose. Yeah, for me, comfort eating is one. And I'd hate my fucking life at 50, and I would have wasted half of it. Yeah, so I was lucky that I had a cousin who killed himself, so I realized that was an option. I was lucky that I'd been in war zones and been around death and had that death meditation that life is short. You know, I was lucky that I'm just a total fucking head case extremist. So if you're a sort of nice, moderate person who's had a nice, moderate life and hasn't had any sort of trauma or, you know, those sort of things, you're in a worse position. Yeah? So you might need to get to that point of really suffering. Like sometimes people come to me for coaching. I talked to a guy yesterday, nice guy, and he wanted coaching with me. He was offering me quite a lot of money. And I just looked at him and I thought, you're not suffering enough yet. He was just like, yeah, I kind of want to solve this problem and I've got some money. So yeah, let's do some coaching. And I was like, come back to me when you're crawling. You know, come back to me when you're crying blood and then we'll talk. Yeah? So like, how do you get yourself to that point where you stop the entertainment, you stop all the sweeties you give yourself to make yourself feel a little bit better? What do you do to feel better when you're not on purpose? Again, no judgment, right? This is Gabor Mate stuff. We do things to survive, we do things to cope. I drank for years, and if I hadn't have drunk, I probably would have killed myself. Yeah. So what do you do that when to sort of go, well, I'm not on purpose, I'm not living my best life, and I'm not, you know, fully expressing myself as a human? Yeah, dance can be a way into purpose, or it can be a way out of it. That's quite a fun dance experiment to do. Eat, binge, hug my son. Yeah, don't use your kids as an excuse for not having life purpose. So a lot of people say, my purpose is my children. And it might be, but that's a hell of a lot to put on kids. It's a hell of a lot to put on kids to make them your life purpose. Yeah, and also, do you really want to model that? Like, if you have a daughter, do you want to say, I'm modeling this to you? Like, just be really clear about your kids, if your kids are. I think kids is kind of like, no one's going to challenge kids, are they, except me? No one's going to challenge that. If you say, my life purpose is loving my children, no one's going to say, you fucking loser. Yeah? But it's like, just check in that is really your life purpose, because otherwise it's a hell of a thing to put on them. Yeah. Kids are for leaving home. My mum started finding her life purpose after her kids left home. It was interesting. She had an empty nest, and then she started pursuing psychology and yoga and all the things that I love. It was like, turns out this must be in the blood a little bit. We were studying psychology at the same time, me and my mum. It was really cool. We'd come home and say, oh, what do you think of Zimbardo or Milgram? Right? So it's like, she had to have her kids leave home because she had this sense of, it's my duty to have children and be a good wife, be a good mother, you know. Divorced my dad, went to Australia, became a hippie, and started finding what she really loved to do in life. Yeah. I don't think she'd say it was a waste of time raising her kids. Well, maybe that's just an evolution of purpose, you know. Purpose does change. It's fucking annoying, actually. You find this, Erika? You're like, right, I do courses for women who are too nice. Or, right, I teach embodiment. I do the embodied facilitator course. And then it changes because life changes and you change. So yeah, it's a constant retuning in.
Yeah, I'd say the same. I'd say I approach it now like you were talking about early on. Maybe it's the fourth stage. You were talking about the fourth belt, where you're just course correcting. You know, you've got an idea, and you just need to keep course correcting. And so it might be like as well, like what offers you're putting out, which still light you up and which don't. Where do you want to take what you're doing? Maybe it was one-to-one clients, and that's not it anymore. And you want to do groups, or you want to. So it's this evolving thing that I think even if you know your purpose. Like this course, like the black belt, it's like, okay, and then what? You know, how do you want it to evolve, or how do you keep tuning in? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the black belt part of your course, is doing it. But in a way, you could put the black belt at the beginning. Okay, you could say, you know what, actually, best thing to do is experiments. Like do 3 1-hour-long Facebook Lives on 3 different topics. Like some people say, well, I've got to work it all out before I can make an offer. No. Like I've made loads of offers over the years. I used to teach time management, I mean, all sorts of things I don't do now. You know, like I did an experiment this last year on Christian embodiment, right? Just because I was interested in the topic, and I kind of quite liked it, but it didn't like super light me up, so I didn't do another one. Yeah, just I'm doing experiments all the time.
I would really say this as a woman who was underconfident, and I've done Purpose Black Belt, and I've been lucky enough to do kind of one-to-one with Mark. But like, I would say as a woman who was underconfident and sort of, I thought I had to get it all worked out before putting offers out. You don't know until you're the other side of that. Like now I just feel like, oh, just try it. I'll just try it. I'll just try this. And it's like, but it's really like, once you step over that barrier, it becomes so much easier to just go, oh, that didn't work. You know, like in the last month, I've had a course that really worked and one that didn't. And it's just like, oh, great. Okay. You know, or one that I really loved and one I didn't. And it's like, it's really just getting over that hurdle, I would say. Yeah.
And listening to the universe's feedback is part of finding life purpose. Yeah. So the feedback could be like, never do that again, Mark. Okay. The feedback could be like, wow, you look really sexy when you taught that particular course. Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay. It could be feedback could be no one showing up at your workshop. Now that doesn't mean you should quit straight away, right? Because you also need good marketing, right? Some of you did ethical marketing last month. We've sort of done these in the wrong order. Yeah. It's really like find your purpose, then learn how to sell it. So there's also marketing skills if no one turns up, right? But if you have good marketing skills and the consistent feedback is, oh, people don't like this, then another piece of feedback people will give you is, you're great at this. Like, what do your friends think you're good at? You can do this by text message right now. Okay, you could literally get your iPhone out right now, text 10 friends. You can do that pretty easily on a modern phone and say, what am I good at? Or what do I find easy and obvious? So there's a way in which purpose could be like, well, obviously, yeah. Like, well, it's sort of, sometimes it's something you find easy. Sometimes it's the opposite. Maybe like Erika, you've gone through a journey of it being really hard and you've kind of, you know, gone through that yourself. Okay. Oksana's put sex. I find sex easy. Yes. So it's the things we find pleasurable, but remember they have to be in service to others. But maybe you'd be an amazing tantrika, sex coach, you know, dolphin concubine. I don't know. You know, we've all got different callings. I've got a few friends who their calling is professional sex work, actually. Yeah, a couple of friends that is their calling. So like their life calling. So, okay, friends. No, they are actually my friends. So, okay. So we're running through some tools here, and you can see in the course, there's loads more. Some of these we'll do later today. The yellow belt stuff, we're going to do a session on as well today, but again, loads more there. Like looking at your cultural conditioning, family conditioning, all the stuff that gets in the way of doing these tools. Because the problem might be, well, you sort of know the tools, but you're getting in your own way. Yeah. Self-esteem, how social media affects that, what discipline really is. There's loads more in the course. If you want more tools, you'll find a few more on YouTube. We've still got time for a couple more. So what have I done? Oh yeah, here's another simple tool. Tell someone your life story. Like you did this one, Erika, right? Like a dedicated listener, someone that's really going to listen for like an hour. Maybe you say, look, I'll buy you dinner if you listen to me. Yeah, come around for a non-government approved mixing of 2 households lunch, whatever. Okay, I can never encourage that. So why telling your life story is important? Why telling your life story is important? It's because we naturally make meaning through story. So let's imagine your life was a conspiracy. Okay, and it was all a conspiracy to get you to a particular kind of service giving. Your whole life had been conspired by lizard people, aliens, to get you to a particular place. And that place is your purpose. Like if I look back on my life, I go, well, I did Aikido, and then I went to that peace project, and you know, I helped those kind of people, and oh wow, it's all led to here. Now, of course, that's complete bullshit. We're just meaning-making devices, so that's what we do. But that meaning-making through storytelling can be incredibly helpful to and with the assumption of my life has been leading up to something. Does that make sense? Still with me? I exhausted you. Another simple tool. Who inspires you? Put that in the chat. Who inspires you? Can we hear more of Erika, please? No, because it's the patriarchy. Bad luck.
I'm giving a talk tomorrow. Come to that.
Good plug. You see, good plug. Erika's here assisting. When we co-teach, we'd be doing it 50-50. So it's just the format of today. Who inspires you? Leslie Kaminoff, Joseph Campbell. Come on, who else? Who inspires you? John Casalet. I don't know who that is. Gabble Mate. Never tell Gabble Mate you had a Fanta. Jay Shetty.
Maya Angelou.
Okay, so here's the thing. We tend to project our greatness onto others. So I have students, and Erika went through this stage, and she used sarcasm to get out of it, where students say, oh my God, you're amazing. I could never be like you. You're so awesome. Da, 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 da. They're projecting their own greatness. This is one of the problems with celebrity culture. Yeah. So what's the part of you that needs to blossom that you're admiring in them? Right? It's like, oh my God, Nelson Mandela was so brave and he stood up for what he believes. Okay, so do that. Okay, the Dalai Lama is so compassionate, and even though all these Chinese people hate him, he's just really calm. You know, he's really kind. Okay, so do that. Yeah. So think of that person you admire, and actually, I mean, maybe write in the chat too the qualities. Yeah, so like if John Williams just did, it's like, okay, don't put that on John. Let me tell you, it's creepy and nasty and ends in tears. All of the projection side's never good. Beyonce, strong ass woman, literally, she has a strong ass. Yeah. Cool. All right, how are we doing? Feedback I've mentioned, inspiration I've mentioned, what your friends tell you. What your friends tell you you're good at. Here's one. What do your friends ask you for advice on? Don't say sex again, Oksana. What do your friends ask you for advice on? Like, I'd have loads of people come to me about life purpose. They'd say, hey, Mark, you seem to be, you know, even my enemies who hated me would say, you know, Mark's a dick, but he's really on purpose with that embodiment stuff. You know, Mark's a total knobhead, but he's really committed to what he loves, right? Like the best compliment ever when someone hates you and still recognizes you're on purpose. Yeah. It might usually comes in friends though. Friends will say, hey, I'd have friends take me aside and say, hey, Mark, I'm a bit lost in life. I don't suppose we can have a chat because you seem like you're really on it. Like everybody has an intuitive sense that when you meet someone, you can tell, right? Yeah. By the way, one of the ways it shows up is being sexually attractive. I'm sorry, but a side effect of life purpose is you'll get hotter. I'm terribly sorry. It's a horrible side benefit that happens when you're on purpose. Yeah, like when I was doing the conference, I was like super on purpose. People were literally sending me nudes. I was like, well, thanks, and I appreciate it, but I don't know you. It's a bit weird. Yeah. It was like, okay, I'm kind of busy right now, you know, block. Yeah. So it's, that's an unfortunate side effect I should warn you about. Also, children will love you as well. That's another unfortunate side effect. You know, because you're alive. Children love that. And believe it or not, little kids love me. And the reason little kids love me is because they go, oh, there's a few reasons. One is that I'm super protective. That's part of my being, and kids feel that and they feel safe around that. The other one is I'm super playful, but the third one is that I feel alive to them. Most adults feel half dead to children. They feel grey. Yeah, being off purpose is being half dead. You know, when I was looking to kill myself, I was already half dead. I was halfway there. Yeah, that grey excuse for life. Okay, so let's recap what we've done. Body 1, joy and deep ease. Body 2, pain. Body 3, thing 3, nature or isolation, cutting off from tech. Number 4, giving up distraction, that's related. Number 5, death, we'll do that later. Number 6, questions, we're going to do a whole session on the best questions ever later. Number 7, tell your life story. Number 8, inspirations. Number 10, friends and feedback. Yeah, friends and feedback. So there's 10 tools, as I said, on the proper course. There are loads more. If you have loved today and you can't afford the proper course, then you can always look at some of the free videos on YouTube. My book is out there. If you want to say thank you to me, you could buy one of the 2 books and give an Amazon review. Or if you can't even afford the book, you could do a review of our podcast. There's lots of podcasts where I talk about purpose. And we've only had like 2 reviews this year on the podcast. So I'd love a few more. Is anyone a podcast listener? Give me a wave if you're a podcast listener. Go do us a review. Okay, so as I would said, if you do want to get more into it, the course, which Steve's going to put repeatedly in the chat, we decided to go for a live format here. Previously, we've been sort of broadcasting on a sales page, but we thought it'd be more fun to do this on a live big Zoom call. Very sad I didn't get 1,000 today. Erika, yes?
Can I add one, which is like what you're doing right now, which is surround yourself with other people that are working on their life purpose. And like additional to the course is like an ongoing Facebook group, which I know the other marketing group is very lively. So there's something about like surrounding yourself with people that are also supporting you to do this thing, because not everyone will support it. Not everyone, people are invested in you staying as you are. And so I think there's something about the momentum. That's certainly what I've found in like my mentoring groups and groups that I'm involved with, is bring together, join other people on this mission, because it's very hard to do it on your own. It's very hard.
Yeah, it's really reinforced that. Thank you, Erika. I think that's what I meant when I put friends on my note, actually. Yeah. So thank you for reminding me that having that support group is really important. You were part of a 2-year program where people got together regularly. I mean, that's great. I mean, with this product, there will be calls where you can get together with other people. And there's also a chance to get a buddy. So one of the things we can do is set you up with a purpose buddy. Should you want one, you just email Agatha once you bought the product and she can set you up with someone. Purpose, small group or buddy. So that can be really helpful. The thing is, if everyone around you is on purpose, it's just normal, right? It's just a normal thing. Like if you think, Erika, who do we hang out with when we're hanging out with like the Brighton crowd or whatever, right? If you're all the Embodiment crew, they're all just on purpose, at least more or less. So it would sort of just feel odd if you weren't. So, be careful who you immerse yourself with. And as Erika said, people will want to keep you off purpose, not because they hate you, but because they're used to things being a certain way. It disrupts the sort of homeostasis if you really start going into this. So even if they love you, they still might, So I would say it is a sign that your partner or your parents love you. My mum always said, I don't mind what you do as long as you're happy. And she actually meant it, to the point where she would drive me to the airport when I was going to war zones. I mean, can you imagine being a mother and driving your only son to possibly get shot in a war zone? And she would literally get up at 5 a.m. to drive. I just feel really grateful to my mum at the moment for supporting me in my, for years I pursued my life purpose. She didn't really have any money, but she'd let me sleep on the couch and she'd drive me to the airport sometimes and she'd buy a book for me occasionally. And I thought, what a wonderful gift that she gave me that. Yeah. And now I'm fucking loaded and I can look after her. Yeah, good investment, Mum. So, but more than that, she's seen me become happy and she's seen me, I found my wife when I was on purpose. They said, hey, would you come to the Ukraine and teach trauma work? Because we've got a war on. I said, well, there's not really any money in it, but, it's kind of what I do. So I'll come along. And then they conspired to make all my interpreters beautiful single women. What an awful conspiracy. And I met the greatest woman in the world. And had I not been following my life purpose, that wouldn't happen. So the gifts of purpose are more than you can believe. But for me, the main gift is not more money, which often happens. It's not a wife. It's not a good relationship with my mum. For me, the real gift is just waking up every day and going, my life means something. I'm not wasting my precious time here. Yeah. So I'd really encourage you to go deeper into purpose. There's other sessions today. If COVID has knocked you off and different practicalities have changed. If you don't like my stuff, go to John Williams, go to Jamie Catto. If I annoy you, if you want to buy the product, great. It's a good little product. It's well worth $300 and it's going to be double that afterwards. Well worth that. If you want to kind of, have a few more of those gifts of purpose in your life. However, if you don't like me or you don't like my approach, then there's other people out there like, John and Jamie and other people doing good work. So, you can see some of those guys tomorrow as well. Cool. We have 5 minutes for questions. Yeah, $300 investment for the course, Ileana. Which $300 product? What? You don't know about it yet? Steve's going to put the link in again. So that's the way we do it. I'll just be completely transparent. Is we offer a free event. Okay. A, because I like giving this stuff for free to people who can't afford it. And B, because it's a great sales funnel into the paid products that we do. The free events are always a taster of the paid product. I have to pay the bills and, pay 15 people's wages, so we can't give it all away for free. But $300 is like, think of what you would normally spend $300 on. Now, depending on your lifestyle, that might be different, but think of the things you buy that distract you from not having life purpose. I guarantee that's more than $300 a year if you live in the first world. Yeah. Things that you buy, whether it's alcohol or distractions or whatever. Like, people will spend $2,000 on a holiday to get away from the life they hate for a week and then go back to it. It's like, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Why not spend $300 having a life you don't hate? Yeah. Ooh. Okay, questions about the product.
And just to confirm, Mark, as well, because it's being put there, that when you buy the product, it's all the recordings for this along with that big course, which Mark just shared, that goes a ton deeper than what he's doing now.
It's so cheap, I didn't think it was right. Well, I'll pay you later for saying that. Someone else has privately messaged me, do we have to buy a product to know our purpose? No, I didn't. But what I did was get mentoring and advice. I would say it's very difficult to find your purpose without community and mentoring at the least. So if you've got that, you don't need any product. I mean, you could just read a book and find your life purpose. It's possible. Realistically, if I'm honest, just looking at the data, the people who I've seen find life purpose have had community mentors and they've done the fucking work. That's what it's a piece of work. So it's not a comfortable piece of work. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not always fun, but it's a piece of work.
There was a question that came up that said something like, how do we deal with all the time we've wasted? And I just felt like, turn back to what Mark said about your life story. Like, I felt like I'd wasted a lot of time, and it wasn't wasted. It wasn't wasted. Go back to your life story, tell your life story. Yeah, make meaning from it. Yeah.
It's not wasted. It's not wasted. And sometimes there is a little bit of a mourning piece to do. Yeah. I wish I'd met my wife at 25 and not at 37, right? But it's like, she probably wouldn't have liked me at 25. Yeah. So there's sometimes a mourning piece to do. Is it available for a year? No, it's available forever. It's yours until the internet breaks. Okay. So we're eating rats and in a Mad Max situation. Is there a group chat on the content this week? You can go to the Facebook group for Embodiment Unlimited, which is our 42,000 people in there, and I'm sure there'll be lots of conversations happening there. By the way, hello to all the people watching on Facebook. I know some people are watching this now. Could you tell your friends as well? That would really do me a favor, particularly if you're like, I'm loving this and I can never afford to buy your products. It would really, really do me a favor if you could tell one friend who would like really love this. So don't annoy a friend. Like can you think of one now? Can you think of a friend that you're like, yeah, I'm going to tell them this is happening today and tomorrow? Give me a wave if you're willing to shout a friend. That's a really useful thing. Just sort of right on, as soon as we're done, just text them like, hey, here's a link, it's free, get on it. Is there a program outline for today and tomorrow? Yes, that's on the other webpage. Maybe Steve can post that. I bought the Embodiment Conference which Mark put together. It's very hot stuff. Yes, you can also buy the Embodiment Conference. Nothing is a waste. Cool. Wow, there's so many copies. Thank you all for participating. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, what was your biggest takeaway from this session as we come to a close? Other than, I should go buy a Purpose Black Belt. It sounds amazing. Other than that. Last breath. The projection of admiration. God, it's the bane of my fucking life. I tell you, it causes so many problems. Do you still work with children? No, I don't work with children. But if you live in Brighton, I will take your kids off your hands for an hour to run around the park with them. So it's listen to more Beyonce songs, right? Who inspires you? Just fucking do it. Yeah, sometimes that is literally only advice people need, is like slap, get on with it. Yeah. Value in sharing your story. Great. Need to unfuck myself. See if you can go from need to choose. Times 10 friends, join a mentor group, get on with it. Life is too short. Oh, this is really beautiful. This is really beautiful. How do you feel, Erika? I feel energized from doing this, which is a good sign that I'm on purpose.
Me too. And I'm remembering the time that you bought me an ice cream and then set me up with my first one-to-one client and walked off and left me terrified and wonderful.
Here's your ice cream. Now get on with it.
Yeah.
Tell them about me taking you to the spa. That was a nice one too. That was my favourite one. Why did I take you to the spa, Erika?
So I could practice taking up space and like enjoying luxury and just
Me, Erika, and Daria lounging in the spa while everyone at Buddhafield was getting rained on in their tents. I was like, I'm not getting rained on. So, last question. Last question. What would you do around life purpose if you loved yourself as much as you love your best friend? So think of your best friend, or good friend, any friend, or your cat if you don't have any friends. What would you do around life purpose? Would you ignore it? What would you do? Okay, so that's my request, is that you treat yourself at least as well as you treat a friend. Thank you so much, Steve, for hosting. Thank you so much, Erika, for joining me. We're on again. When are we on again? Like an hour or something?
Yeah, so in 1 hour we're back and you're here again, but this time with Karen, who did some nice EYP in the welcome this morning, doing What's My Purpose Now? Reflecting on purpose during pandemic times.
Nice one. I've got to go right now. I'm late. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone. I'm back tonight. I'm doing the late night shift, 11 p.m, and we'll be looking at what are some of the things getting in your way, what's blocking your purpose. So yeah, I'm back then. But enjoy the rest of the day with Karen and everyone else. See you.
Cheers, everyone. See you back here. I'll open the room again in about 45 minutes. If I can bloody close this thing, people keep trying to steal. Here we go. See you all.